The following KQED production was produced in high definition.
Yes, check please, people.
It's all about licking your plate.
The food was just fabulous.
I should be in psychoanalysis for the amount of money I spend in restaurants.
I had a horrible experience.
I don't even think we were at the same restaurant. And everybody, I'm sure, saved room for those desserts.
You better.
Hi, I'm Leslie Sbrocco. Welcome to Check Please Bay Area, the show where regular Bay Area residents review and talk about their favorite restaurants. Now we have 3 guests, and each one recommends one of their favorite spots, and the other 2 go check them out to see what they think, then report back here. This week, chemist Rich Tester calibrates the reactions of his guests to measure their enjoyment when he dines out. He thinks that sharing is half the fun and recommends tapas as the perfect opportunity to satisfy. Architectural administrator Alexandra greets the flavors of Sicily with gusto at her pick. Her main complaint is that there are too many dishes, not enough stomach. But she returns to the orchestrated madhouse to sample as many as she can. But first, social worker and fused glass artist Charlene Nason splurges on the elegant Art Deco atmosphere with its exposed brick, wall sconces, and thick red drapes. It's the place to linger and savor every delightful bite of every flavorful course. It's sophisticated and stylish, and it's called Jardinière on Grove Street in San Francisco.
The tasting menu here at Jardiniere, we offer a wine pairing. Nightly, the sommelier confers with the chefs to make sure that we have a great symbiosis between the food and the wine. We have a wonderful sommelier here, Jardins, and a great international wine list that has probably just about anything anyone would want to find in the world of wine. I'm classically trained in French cooking. I did several apprenticeships in France at Michelin 3-star restaurants. So my background is entirely in French cooking, and all the wonderful ingredients that we have here in the Bay Area is our creative inspiration based on great French cooking technique and market fresh vegetables. Jardiniere is a destination restaurant. We want the diner's experience to be whatever they want it to be. They might be coming for a special occasion like an anniversary or a birthday. They might be coming from a different region to have a quintessential San Francisco experience. We want to make sure that they have an unparalleled dining experience here at Jardiniere.
Okay, Charlene, you have got to tell us about Jardinière.
Well, Jardiniere is a beautiful restaurant that I found a number of years ago, and it's probably been there about 10 or 12 years.
1997.
97, okay, Traci Desjardins. And it's the consummate special occasion restaurant. It's a little pricey, I'll admit that. It's not my everyday restaurant. I love the atmosphere. Most of the time, I don't really care about atmosphere. I'm a down and dirty kind of restaurateur.
Get in, eat, get out.
Yeah, but this place makes the mood. The service has been wonderful every time I've been there. The exposed brick walls, as you mentioned, the food, the bar. I love the bar area. It sort of feels to me like I've returned to a 1930s movie that I used to watch when I was a kid at home in black and white on TV.
Right.
And
it's a Pat Coletto designed restaurant. Right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Very famous restaurant designer.
There's a piano nightly. So it's not just the food.
Everything.
It's everything.
It's the atmosphere
exactly.
and the food. I mean, you guys shaking your head over here.
I thought the
Rich?
piano was really nice, and it provided enough background noise that you could have a normal conversation like this without being intrusive to the other people or without overhearing the other people's conversation.
And what did you have to eat?
Well, we went all out with the tasting menu.
Me too.
I think
What, did you have the whole weekend? So you were there because you can hang out at Jardiniere.
We were there for a while.
Spend hours there. Right?
And the server asked us up front, that he asked us, do we have any time constraints? And we didn't. And I thought the meal was then perfectly paced. I'm sure they would have sped it up.
It's like a storybook. The waiter that I had, Michael, came up and he announced the beginning of the story, and then he went through every single item on the tasting menu. And then for dessert, the wine sommelier accompanied every single dish with the perfect wine, and it was just such a delight, and definitely a special occasion restaurant.
Well, he has built really one of the best lists in San Francisco, if not one of the best lists nationwide. I mean, it's really a terrific wine list.
And I love the bar. We sat upstairs,
That's my
overlooking
favorite.
all of the
railing.
all of
that.
the glitz.
Right,
exactly.
So let's talk about the food.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite dishes?
Well, as I said, the scallops were perfectly prepared, sort of a little seared crust on the outside and sweet and juicy on the inside, beautiful. And this time I had the duck breast, which was on a bed of bok choy. It was done kind of rare, and it had these little bits of candied ginger with pieces of nectarine, and the contrasts were wonderful. And my dining companion had what I've had before, which is the short ribs, fabulous, kind of bursting with that red Cabernet flavor that they use to infuse it.
My dining partner chose the tasting menu, and then I chose to have the duck confit because I asked what the specialties of the house were, and that was one of them. And then when the first course came out, it was caviar with beets and a salmon tartare. And I was so jealous that I could only have one bite.
And here I really didn't feel intruded upon by anyone else. I knew there were other diners, but they weren't crawling up my back, they weren't biting at my heels. It was just your own private table.
They were trying to get to your tuna is what they were trying to do.
And also with the time constraint, it didn't feel as though they were rushing me. It didn't feel as though if I wasn't ordering the right wine or which at some restaurants, if you're not ordering the right thing,
It's
kind
true.
of
But attitude-free, so you really felt like it's
very
an
friendly,
attitude-free.
actually.
The rabbit course I wanted to talk about because we had two people at our table that almost didn't order the tasting menu because it had rabbit on it, and they don't care for rabbit. It was a saddle of rabbit and a roulette on different sides of the plate, and they were both excellent. And so I think we converted a couple of non-rabbit fans to rabbit eaters that night.
All right, what about desserts?
We actually shared the almond macaroon with chocolate mousse. It was magnificent. It was just wonderful. And an almond sherbet on the same plate.
Okay, Charlene, this is your restaurant and your pick, so do tell people why you feel they're getting value for their money, or why they should take a visit to Jardinière.
Because you will be treated in a way that you normally are not when you go out to eat. It is an elegant, sophisticated experience from start to finish, and it is clearly a special occasion restaurant that you will walk away from feeling that you are special.
All right. Is every day special for you?
Most definitely. I go there during opera night, during non-opera night. I enjoy cocktails there. I enjoy their cheese cave is fantastic.
Not to miss. You're exactly right.
Not to miss.
All right, and Rich?
I definitely think it's a nice place for a special evening. When I go to the nice restaurants like that, I tend to do the tasting menu, so it costs a little bit more, but I think it's worth it.
All right. If you would like to experience the restaurant, it's called Jardinière, and it's on Grove at Franklin in San Francisco. The telephone number is 415-861-5555. It's open for dinner every day. Reservations are recommended, and the average dinner tab per person without drinks is around $65. Next, Rich shares companionship along with the small plates of tapas at his little place on 22nd in the Mission. It's the space for groups of all sizes. It's called Esperpento.
Tapas is something that you share with more people. I mean, 2 or 3 people will get together, go to a bar for just to drink a little beer, and at the same time we'll munch into something. And people still were talking about tapas, something they saw in books and things like that, but it was nothing the real thing. So we decided that we had to open a tapas bar, and that's how it came into place. And I had my doubts about if people would really go for chorizo or morcilla, things that in tapas are very common, but here people weren't. I don't think people were ready for it. But people were open to eat more stuff and looking for new flavors and new sensations and new ways of eating also. I mean, the tapas, the sharing of the food, and that was a new thing too.
Okay, Rich, music, fun, food, little flamenco and mariachi. Talk to us about Esperpento.
Well, Esperpento is the place I like to go. I like to take my friends there. You order a lot of different kinds of food. They come on small plates. Everybody shares everything. If you like something a lot, you order another dish. They bring it right out to you, and it's just fun. It's just a great evening.
It's like being in Barcelona or Madrid.
When you're sitting at the right angle, you're definitely in Barcelona on Plaza Real. You are there. It's fantastic. I would recommend going with a group of people.
Yeah.
I unfortunately went with one other person and ended up getting half the menu.
I think when you just go with one other person, I've gone a few times with just my wife, and yeah, you only end up with 5 or 6 dishes. It's not quite the same experience. If you go with 8 people, you order at least one of everything on the menu, and they bring it all out to you, and everybody samples.
Which is very Spanish. Again, if you're in Madrid or something, you're going down here.
Actually, the waitress told us enough when we were ordering. It was like, because I said, I have to try these things.
Exactly.
But what did you try? Let's talk about some of the food, some of the tapas.
I tried about 6 or 7 or 8 things. I would say the best 3 that I had were the potato frittata, which reminded me of a potato kugel.
Good.
And it's a classic tapa.
Yeah, wonderful. Potato and onion. It was wonderful. And the calamari. I like grilled calamari. You can't get grilled a lot of places. They fry it. It was wonderful, garlic and oil. And then the third one that I really liked was the artichoke. It's sliced thinly and in garlic and oil also. And it was wonderful.
The potato bravas is also good. They're kind of spicy.
The
They're kind of crispy.
Garlic mayonnaise.
Yes, that comes with the garlic aioli.
You could put that on cardboard and I'd eat it.
It's
so good.
One of the nice
You can just get it to go and
Oh
rub it
my
on.
goodness.
Rub it on your
Oh my
body.
goodness.
One of the nice things about Esperpento too is they have a lot of vegetarian dishes. They have a lot of meat dishes. They have a lot of fish dishes. So you can bring a varied group of people there and not have to worry about whether or not people are going to like the same things, or if they have restrictions, or they don't want to eat this, or they do want to eat that.
Right. What about drinking? Because
Sangria.
Sangria, yeah.
The sangria I think is pretty good. It's a little on the sweet side, but I like it a lot.
My dining partner drank an entire carafe of sangria. And I am not joking.
I like it.
And they seem to be really good on sauces.
Yes.
Every sauce that we had was great, even if the actual meat in it wasn't that good.
Right.
And I liked the atmosphere a lot. It was fun. It was a very hot night. I think it was one of those nights that had gotten into the 80s. So the double doors were open. It just felt very European in that regard. And I liked the display they had of fans in above one of the walls.
All right, let's talk about parking karma.
I was thrilled. I got a spot on the corner of 22nd and Valencia.
Okay.
And the car was still
Because
there.
That was a complete miracle. I got parking everywhere I went.
And what about desserts?
Flan. Yummy,
Flan.
yummy, yummy, yummy.
The flan. And it's so nice to be able to go to a restaurant that you don't spend $12 on a flan or a creme brulee.
No, it's like $3.
$3.
Yeah.
So good, almost as good as
was
the garlic
wonderful.
mayonnaise, but very, very flavorful.
I'm actually a creme brulee fan.
Me too.
And I didn't. I don't like theirs that much. To me, the texture is not quite right. And I'm not a huge flan fan, but their flan is amazing.
Yeah, it was really,
so
really
it's
good.
a little bit of a trade-off.
We all just had flan.
We all had
Right. Yeah, it was great.
The Temple of Flan.
flan. If you start with the
Esperpento.
sangria and you end with the flan, I think you're going to do okay. And yeah, I think for tapas, it's definitely value for the money in the city.
Yeah.
A lot of the tapas restaurants charge $9 or $10 a plate for their food,
Right.
and these are more like $5 to $7 a plate. And there's a reasonable amount of food on each plate. So somewhere between 2 and 3 plates a person is about right for the food.
Right.
It was a really, really comfortable experience going there. And I've passed by this place probably 1,000 times because I live down that other end of town. And I always say, oh, I should go there sometime. And if it hadn't been for this, I probably would have never gone.
See, so you can thank Rich. You can take him out to dinner at Jardiniere.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, that's a deal. There's a deal there.
Wait, what's your name again? Hang on. All right, this is your spot. So tell people, you know.
I think Esperpento is a great place to go, hang out with your friends, eat all the food that you want, try different things. If one plate you don't like, you'll like the next plate. You just keep ordering it. Order a few things, see what you like, keep hold of a menu, and then if you're still hungry, you order some more. They don't mind. It just works that way.
All right, Alexandra, or should I call you Sangria Girl?
Oh. I thought it was wonderful. I haven't been a tapas fan, and I would definitely go back. I loved the garlic chicken. I loved everything garlic about Esperpento. The music, perfect. They sang happy birthday. I thought I was back in Barcelona.
Oh, nice. Yeah. I would definitely go back. I loved it. I really enjoyed it. I was very glad to go there. And I thought it would be a great place to bring a group of friends. I also went with one other person, and it would be fun to have a group of people after work just going in there and spend a few hours and have a bunch of different dishes and just kind of make some noise and not feel like you're going to, you know, step on anybody's toes. So I loved it, yeah.
All right. If you would like to visit, Esperpento is on 22nd at Valencia in San Francisco. The telephone number is 415-282-8867. It's open every day for lunch and dinner. Reservations are accepted, and the average tab per person without drinks is around $17. Alexandra's cry of "God bless garlic" can be heard as she dips her bread into the flavored oil at her pick. It's a place with flavors stemming from Sicily. It's on College Avenue in Berkeley, and it's called Trattoria La Siciliana.
Trattoria La Siciliana is a family restaurant in the true essence of the word. I work with my mother and my father, my brother and my sister. Me and my brother are the chefs, and neither of us are formally trained. My brother trained both of us, starting from when we were kids. Basically, we grew up in restaurants doing what we're doing now, and basically it's what we love to do, and it's pretty much the only thing we do, so we do it really well. We have an open kitchen, so our customers kind of get to be part of our family. We tend to argue sometimes in front of the customers. It's part of the way we run the operation here, somewhat in a dysfunctional way, but in a good way at the same time. So Sicilian food is much different than Northern Italian food or even Central or Roman food, because we, over time, have been dominated by many, many cultures. We have a wide array of ingredients and styles that are totally unsimilar to the North. My brother Jerry, my sister Julia, my father Giuseppe, and my mother Rosa, we welcome you when you come to the restaurant as you're basically an extension of our family, and believe me, by the time you leave, you'll feel it. That's for the heart, that's true.
Okay, what draws you to the Sicilian spot?
Not only the story, but also the flavors. It is a dive restaurant, I'd have to say, in that it is small, family-owned. One of the two Diallo brothers inherited all of their recipes from their mama, and every single night that you go there, one of them has cooked your meal.
Is they're in the kitchen cooking?
They are in the kitchen. A kitchen the size of this table.
But they turn out great meals for you.
They turn out fantastic meals. You start off your meal with a olive garlic dipping sauce that I will bathe in. I'm sure people have bathed in. They're always packed. They don't accept reservations unless it's for 3 people or more. And I've always had a wonderful, wonderful time there.
Okay, what are some of your favorite dishes?
The rigatoni with peas and a light creamy tomato sauce with pancetta.
You love.
I went in there wanting to love it because of the environment and just the feel of it, and it was actually a disaster.
Oh no!
Yeah.
But the atmosphere was nice.
I love the atmosphere.
Feel,
I love
the family oriented.
Yes, and I love the whole ambiance. The feel
Did
of
you
it
sit
felt
upstairs or
downstairs.
downstairs?
It was.
We sat upstairs.
It wasn't open
and
when I was there.
The tables were sort of really close together.
It was fine when we got there, but instantly it crowded
Became
up.
an orchestrated madhouse.
And there was one waiter and one chef, and they couldn't pull it off.
But that's because it's so popular.
They couldn't handle the crowd.
They couldn't handle the crowd. We never got the olive oil and the garlic. In fact, we were halfway through through the main dish when we got any bread, and we had to ask again for butter. And
we got it when the waiter finally came,
Yeah.
but it was about 25 minutes from the time that they seated us to the time that we actually met the waiter.
When did you go? After a cow game?
There were 4 of us. Actually, there was a cow game that
do
day.
I have to separate?
I mean, it took us half an hour to get just a glass of wine, and there were also a lot of rules. The first thing that I noticed because we went with 4 of us, and so the first thing they told us when we sat down was that, the menu says that you have hour and a half to eat, which is not really possible if you don't even order for the first half an hour. And they also explain to you that if there are more than 2 people, they want you to all order the same dishes.
Oh,
so
they're Italian.
they
want you to object.
Well, I think in their case, they only have one person cooking. They almost have to do that because the dishes didn't come out at the same time.
the guy was so sweet who was our waiter, because we got there and it was kind of empty, and this was sort of a 2 o'clock, 2:30 Sunday lunch. And we thought, we'll just get in there. He said, order from the dinner menu, it's fine. Here, I'll give you a tasting of wine, it was fine. And then when the onslaught happened and everybody showed up, that was the last we saw of him.
We had a dish that came with meatballs. It was just a plain sauce with meatballs. The meatballs were great.
Okay.
They were like this big.
Good.
And
There is mom's recipe, and I know.
The meatballs were definitely the highlight of the dinner. We also had linguine with shrimp and pesto sauce, which I actually liked. My dining companions who were huge pesto fans, and that was why we sort of negotiated, since we had to share, we negotiated this pesto dish.
The meatball trade for the pesto trade.
I liked it, but I'm not a big pesto fan.
Okay.
My wife, for instance, is a huge pesto fan, and she hated it.
Well, I ordered what I thought was a salmon dish that was on a bed of penne. And it came out. I have never. The salmon is the size of these little whatever they
Berries.
are, berries. And I said, this must have been a mistake. This must have been the half order. And he, oh no, it's not. And I said, well, I never really argue with waitstaff at all. I just kind of go with it. And I said, well, this is not right. There's something, the salmon's missing.
Did they rectify it? Did they?
He said, well, no, it's the right order. And he came back a few minutes later and he said, well, I'll get you more salmon. So I think he put the order in incorrectly.
Okay.
We just ordered the 2 pasta dishes. I thought there was plenty of food for the four of us.
Food.
I've been going there now for many, many years. It is always jam-packed. There is always a list a mile long. There are people outside the door. If you bring the right crowd, the right attitude, do not go on a cow game day.
Big warning.
The Diallo brothers will take care of you, and if you have a problem, I know for a fact, if you go up to them and say, hey, what is the paisano, what is the matter with this salmon? They will fix it in a jiffy.
Well, I couldn't summarize the restaurant better than that. So would you give us your final thoughts on the restaurant?
I think it was too much of a process for me to go back. I think the food was okay, but not worth trying to actually get the food out of the restaurant.
Okay.
I have to agree, Charlene. Really. I wanted to like it, and I didn't go during a Cal game. For me to go to the East Bay, I wouldn't go there. There are other places I would prefer to go.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, if you would like to give it a try, Trattoria La Siciliana is on College in Berkeley. The telephone number is 510-704-1474. It's open every day for lunch and dinner with brunch on Sundays. Reservations are recommended. It's cash only, and the average tab per person without drinks is around $20. Well, I have to thank my guests. They were a little feisty, but it was great. We featured Charlene's pick of Jardinière that wowed everyone with its impeccable service and delicious food, an elegant dining experience for all. Rich's Esperpento in the Mission in San Francisco was another hit with good portions, good prices, and great atmosphere. Everyone would recommend and return to it. And Alexandra's Trattoria La Siciliana on College in Berkeley met with more mixed experiences and hopes dashed as crowds filled the premises, leading to what Charlene felt was inconsistent service and food. While Rich raved about the meatballs, he also felt the service needed attention. 3 great restaurants this week that everyone pretty much agreed on. So don't forget that you can go to the website for more details on all the restaurants featured. You can also comment on the blog. We'd love to hear what you have to say. Watch a show or download one to podcast. And don't forget to join the KQED Wine Club with information and discounts on international wines, recipes, and more. You can find out about it at kqed.org/wineclub. Well, another show complete with 3 more restaurants for y'all to try. You can join us here again next time when 3 new guests will recommend their favorite spots on Check Please Bay Area. I'm Leslie Sbrocco, and I hope to see you then. Cheers, you guys. Thank you.
Cheers. Cheers.
Thank you.
This show is available in high definition, on demand, and via podcast. For additional information on the restaurants featured, to comment, or to apply to be on the show, go to our website at kqed.org/checkplease. A KQED television production.